Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday night, 5:45. Getting start for the 2026 NOHL AAA Playdowns U15 Finals. Winner will go to the U15 All-Ontario's. Matchup is host Sudbury Greyhounds taking on the Sudbury Wolves. The Hounds will win that draw. Beckerson, he'll flip it in deep. Talbot will chase after it, no ice. He rims it, goes off lap line and stick it out of play. And Wyatt Jarrett finishes his check. And the player is down, but no call on the play.
He looks like he's hurt.
I think it was just a good finish of a check, but Jarrett just a big body.
No call, but yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes' time.
Welcome back. Everything's good. The Sudbury player made his way to the bench. Hopefully everything's all right. One back. The Wolves will rim it around. Stick. Falcioni tries to rim it out. Kept in by Lapalainen. Fire towards the net. Hits off Wyatt Jarrett. He takes a big hit on the boards by number 18, Tarini. Now the Wolves try to get back out. They get it to the neutral zone. Campbell will dump it back in for the Hounds. Puck comes around, it's going to be almost stolen by Fisher Ruck, but good stick tie up by Jonathan Kroom. Now they'll back down to the Wolves. Now back to the neutral zone. McKay picks it up on the half wall. Now through the slot, Fisher Ruck rips it on net and glove down by Braden Boulian. Will get the start for the Wolves.
Yeah, look for a hard-hitting game here, just like every time these guys get together. The rivalry between the Soo and Sudbury, you talked about it before. It lasts at all levels of hockey, all the way up to the OHL. So this is a huge heated rivalry, and this is a big game here.
Yeah, it's starting for net. Sorry, I forgot to mention for the Hounds is number 35, Benjamin Clayton. Now it's going to be thrown up the boards by Blake Bubbalo. It's going to come to the neutral zone. Hounds will steal that back. It'll be Fisher Ruck. He'll drop it for Jeremy Jarrett. Jarrett's going to go far side. Rolls beside the net. Picked up by the Wolves D. Number 12, Bertoli. Bertoli tries to chip it up. Stolen by Gavin Nevers behind the net to the slot. Puck goes wide by Eby. Now Nevers trying to backhand it. Picked up by Bertoli. He'll slowly chip it around into the neutral zone. Now Jeremy Jarrett will fire it back in deep. Now Carson Barr for the Wolves. Gets over to Bertoli. Bertoli stretches it to Bubbalo. Gets chipped. Hits the stanchion. Stays in play. Beckerson. He's going to pick up the loose puck. Greg Beckerson. Hard shot. Just over top of the net. Now Jasper Jarrett fires it to the far corner. Picked up by Dumont of the Wolves. He turns it over to Hayden Doan. Wolves will steal it back. Andre Baudry will get it into the Hound zone. Picked up by Beckerson. Beckerson hits Jasper Jarrett. Good stick by the Wolves to break that up. But Greg Beckerson comes, picks up the loose one. Fired on net and scored. Ben Campbell from Beckerson will get the scoring started to make it 1-0 for the U15 Hounds.
Yeah, Campbell made no mistake. Beautiful shot there. Low blocker side. Had no chance at all, did Boulian, and the Greyhounds jump out to the early 1-0 lead.
So 1-0, still early in the game, 12:43 left, first period. Puck comes back to the Hounds zone. DeForge on the forecheck, he'll bump Beckerson. Gets rimmed around to Lapalainen, just off his stick, he'll chip it. Couldn't get it to Meninos. Really loud in here today. Tarini up the ice. Just stopped at the red line. But now gets over to DeForge. DeForge tries to get over the blue line. He does. Poked off his stick. Looking to get him back. Hounds steal again. Now it's going to be Lapalainen. He's got Campbell going with him. And Meninos. Meninos in the slot. Meninos going back over to Lapalainen. McCabe from the point. Steps up. He'll keep the puck in. Sidesteps ahead. Tries to get it down low to Lapalainen. Off his stick. Wolves steal. Now it's going to be Jonathan Crum off his stick into the neutral zone. Ubaldi picks it up. He gets over to McCabe. McCabe, little flip pass over to Lapalainen. Lapalainen off the blocker.
Nice save.
Boulian with a beautiful blocker save. He puts it out of play.
Yeah, obviously, I think one of the main storylines coming into this game is the return of Wyatt Jarrett for the Soo Greyhounds. His impact on the ice, it's noticeable across the league, and this Greyhound team is a completely different team with Wyatt Jarrett out there. So that's a huge addition, and obviously Sudbury not having Swartz in the lineup is a big loss for these guys. So, when it comes to injuries and things, that's +1 for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, back to their original roster. The AP players aren't playing, as Blake Kennedy had played the last two and had 2 great games for them, and Blake Neufeld, played 1 game, and he had a really good game playing physical. So back to their normal roster. Now the Wolves are going to come back 2-on-2. Falcioni driving wide, shoots it up high, glove down by Clayton.
Falcioni, we've talked about him all tournament long. He's one of those gritty type players, and it's one of those kids when he's on your team, you love to have him, right? He toes that line pretty good, and I really like his aggressive play and kind of just the way he carries himself out there. He toes that line pretty tight, and he does a good job of staying on the right side.
100%, and another thing about him is he can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Absolutely,
so that's it's not just the grit that he brings.
It's a Brad Marchand type.
Yeah,
player
it brings get under the skin, but you can also provide the offense. Is always a good thing to have on your team. Shot from Barr. Clayton will just grab that down. Refs are going to get on early with the scrums, I think, on this one. So
good answer though, quickly by Sudbury, right? Getting a shot on goal, coming back. I think they might only have 1 shot, so that might be their second.
Courtney with another face-off win. Barr again with a good shot, kicked aside by Clayton. Puck just out of the reach of Jasper Jarrett. We're going to have a face-off back down in the ground zone.
Yeah, Campbell and Kroom exchanging pleasantries. Big night in hockey here in Sault Ste. Marie with the Soo Greyhounds playing the London Knights as well, and the Sault Thunderbirds facing elimination in their series. So big night of hockey here, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Hounds out of town in London, so they start soon, 6:07 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Thunderbird game is live at the John Rhodes Arena in Sault Ste. Marie at 7 o'clock. Dumped back in by the Hounds. Campbell takes a hit from Kroom. Now it's the Wolves try to dump it up the boards. Stole by Jarrett over to Eby. Good stick by Courtney. Put that wide of the net. Now the Wolves will break back out. Flipped up just out of the reach of Waino. He'll have to chase down Beckerson. Beckerson fires it over to Campbell. Campbell gets it to his forehand. He's going to go up ice. Finds Lapalainen. Lapalainen is with Meninos and Beckerson. Lapalainen fans on it. Over to Beckerson. Beckerson scores! kind of a broken play as Lapalainen kind of fanned on it, but the puck trickles over to Greg Beckerson. And Beckerson's going to bury that one for a 2-0 lead.
Beckerson was held off the score sheet in terms of goals throughout the regular or since the playdowns, but he had one beautiful goal this morning, almost had another one, and then comes out and scores a massive goal here today. You know, he's just gotten better and better as this tournament's progressed.
So both goals come from the back end of the Hounds so far. Now wide, Jared breaks in, gets it over to Meninos. Meninos, nice save by Boulian. Meninos takes a nice bump from Bertoli. Puck comes out front, fighting for it is Jared and Lapalainen. But now breaking back out is Beaudre. Beaudre, good stick by Bryce Parrott.
What a play by Parrott. Broke up a 4-on-2.
Now they get far side to Meninos. Meninos soft pass trying to find Jared. Good stick again, this time by Turini. He'll break that play up. Puck comes back behind the net. Turini rims it up the boards. Parrott off the point. Will keep it alive and wide. Jared, one-timer. Hits a skate. Now Jared tries to turn. He takes a little slash from Bertoli. Now play comes back to the Hound zone. Parrott is going to pick up the loose puck. Parrott snaps it up. He finds Jared. He'll just dump it in to go for a change. Caruso coming on the forecheck. Barr gets it D-to-D. Now comes back to the neutral zone. Ubaldi gets his pocket picked, trying to make the head. Nevers picks up the loose puck. Nevers sidesteps a little bit of a stick. Good stick by Courtney. He'll steal in the offensive zone. Now back Beckerson. He'll find Nevers. Nevers and Caruso breaking out. Caruso in the slot. Caruso trying to backhand it towards that. McCabe going hard. McCabe off the wall. McCabe still at the puck. McCabe shot up high. Just didn't miss by much. Picked up by Fisher-Ruck. Fisher-Ruck back to Ubaldi. Ubaldi off of the blocker of Boulian into the corner. Now Caruso using his size to battle down low on the corner. Out front, Fisher-Ruck couldn't get the shot off. Barr steals. Barr will go off the glass and out. And it's going to be Courtney who'll have a chance unless Clayton, he'll come out, play the puck. Nevers goes far side. Caruso just gets a piece of it. They'll go for a change. Sudbury trying to go the other way. The Hounds break back out. Sudbury off the bench, he'll steal. Now it's the Hounds again. McMonaco, he'll bring it in. Jasper Jarrett in the slot. Jasper Jarrett, he goes over to Beckerson on the far side. They try to find Hayden Doan, just gets tipped wide. McMonaco gets hit on the boards, picked up by 25. Dumont. Dumont finds Waino. Waino tries to get around his man. He gets stood up by Beckerson.
Oh, get a little tap to the head of Clayton.
I think he was trying to brace himself, so he didn't go into him, so he didn't really hit him that hard.
No, I don't think.
But
no.
like,
I don't think it was egregious, but I can see why the Greyhounds might have taken an exception.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think the refs just kind of explaining to him, you can't touch the goalie. But like I said, I don't think Defarge meant to, by any means, run him or anything. He just kind of grabbed him by the head, not hard, but.
And actually credit the official there.
Just kind of slide around him so he didn't run into him.
But credit the ref there, right? That's a teaching point. Goes over, explains it, and
just be careful.
Instead of just making a call or not. So great job by the official there.
Lapalainen, they could have a 3-on-2. Goes off wide. Jared's got his man beat, trying to find. He finds Lapalainen. What a save by Boulian, and another one. Boulian with a couple saves. Campbell from the point, hard shot. Another save by Boulian. Campbell trying to keep it in, getting tied up by by Defarge. Defarge just over skates it, kept in by Wyatt Jarrett. Jarrett puts it between his legs into the corner. He finds Meninos. Jarrett takes a hit. Now Meninos trying to fire it back out front. Beckerson's going to come in from the point. Into the slot. Gray fires it to the neutral zone. They got Meninos. Now Meninos with a shot from outside. Blocker and a save. What a Lapalainen on the rebound. Not much Boulian could do on that after making the save on Meninos. And the Hounds will go up 3-0 with 6:46 left in the first period.
What a shot, what a goal. Beautiful play there off the shot, initial shot. And again, Boulian, poor guy, he just left out to making the initial save. Someone's got to pick up that backside winger, and the Greyhounds just made no mistake. So, and with this Greyhound team, like we've talked about, right, you can't make mistakes. They are relentless, and I think part of what makes them so strong is the fact that if you do make a mistake, they're right there to capitalize on it, right? They're just relentless is the word, right? They're just they're all over you all the time.
Yeah, and I know, like, even the first couple games, Matty Lapalainen didn't really get much offense going, but he had his chances. But, like, MVP of the league, and he's getting rolling, it's going to be tough now. Oh, right in front of the net, the Wolves with a chance, just put it wide. That was Chrome with the shot. Now Chrome, he's battling Parrott.
Oh.
Parrott. So battling Clardy, comes off the wall, Courtney in the slot, comes back to the point, Bertoli towards the net, steered aside by Clayton. Torini now, he tries to get it towards the net, goes off a body. The Hounds are going to pick up the loose puck. It's Fisher-Ruck. Fisher-Ruck with Eby and Nevers. Eby, he'll pick it up, trying to find Nevers. Goes through the slot, picked up by Chrome. Chrome, he's got Buffalo with him. He'll dump it in deep. Clayton will come out, play the puck. He'll rim it around. Doesn't get to Eby, and we're going to get too many men. No, slash. So the Wolves, I think, are taking a penalty here. So down 3-0, not the best time to get a penalty.
Yeah.
Especially with this power play unit coming out.
Yeah, pretty powerful. You know, this power play, this whole offense is absolutely deadly. So just the way they move the puck, and they really look for that backdoor play quite a bit, right?
Sudbury wins that back. They'll rim it down. Great job already for the Wolves on the PK to get it out of harm's way. Campbell's going to have to pick up the puck in his own zone. He'll start skating up the ice. Gets it over to Beckerson. Beckerson gets a bump from Barr. Beaudre steals. He'll dump it back down. Wyatt Jarrett will pick up the puck in his own end. This time he'll skate it up ice. Jarrett with some room. He'll put the brakes on. He'll look to set up. Drops it for Beckerson. In defeat of Beckerson. Beckerson can't get it over. Wolves will dump back to the neutral zone. Now Wyatt Jarrett. He'll go back to Campbell. Campbell goes up ice to Lapalainen. Lapalainen gets around Sakarellis. Lapalainen walking in. Lapalainen scores!
What a shot.
Matty Lapalainen with his second of the game.
He goes
on the
5-hole.
power play to make it 4-0.
Yeah, he goes 5-hole there on the power play. Lapalainen has had an unbelievable season for this Greyhounds team. And the Greyhounds expand the lead 4-0 with 5:11 to go here. Winner of this game obviously wins and will compete in the OHFs down in Thunder Bay.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who else. We know Thunder Bay will be there, but the other representative, a couple series still going on. I think Vaughan won the GTHL, if I'm not mistaken, someone told me. And I believe it's Eastern Ontario and Ottawa 67s in the Ottawa.
That's a long drive for Ottawa.
The OMHA is Halton, and I forget the other team. I'll see if I can find out. But excuse me, play comes down. McMonaco now trying to get it over. It's Jasper Jarrett. He goes back to Ubaldi. Ubaldi fakes, try to get back down low. Stolen by 25 Dumont, but the Hounds take it back to the slot. McMonaco and Bryce Adone looking for the puck. Gets chipped by the Wolves. They'll come out of play, and faceoff should stay inside. Just like to think. This stream is being brought to you by KC Security Services on Saultsports TV. Repair Sault Ste. Marie. Thompson Hardwood Floor and Refinishing. Rome's your independent grocer. The Canal District. GFL Environmental. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds. Leanne Jarrett Photography. Booster Juice Sault Ste. Marie. Wendy's Sault Ste. Marie. Saultsports Clips and freeze frame photos by Bob Davies. Wolves get the puck in deep, but it's going to be an icing as he was just before the red line.
Yeah, great job again. I think what Sudbury needs to try to do here is just weather the storm a little bit, right? Like you mentioned, this is a packed house, and 90% of it is cheering for the Hounds. So there is going to be a little bit of pressure. There's going to be a little bit of added eyes here. You're playing in front of a huge crowd. So look for Sudbury now that the nerves have kind of settled in a little bit. I expect them to kind of play a little bit better and find their wheels here a little bit.
Nice hit by Torini. Down low on Fisher Ruck. Caruso's going to steal. He'll cut to the slot. Can't get the shot off. Torini bats it down, but it goes to Parrott. Now it's going to get flipped all the way down to the Hound zone. Won't be enough for an icing. Jeremy Jarrett's got a nice tip pass over to Buffalo. That was Kroom that dove for it. But the Hounds are going to come back the other way now. Fisher Ruck cuts in, loses the puck, goes to Caruso. Caruso snaps it, just misses wide. Picked up by Fisher Ruck. He hits Campbell off the bench at the blue line. He couldn't get the shot off. The Wolves steal. Barr goes back to Torini just out of his reach. Nevers forechecking. Torini goes the other way. Nevers steals. Gavin Nevers in front. Trying to find somebody. Goes off a stick. Matty Lapalainen steals again. Lapalainen tries to cut in. Good stick by the Wolves in the slot to break that up. Barr is going to break out. Hits the red line. Fires it in deep. Now Lapalainen, he chips it over. Just out of the reach of Beckerson. Baudry, he'll chip it back down. Wyatt Jarrett, the centerman, picks it up. He finds Lapalainen. Lapalainen, he hits Meninos. Meninos had to kind of slow up though to stay on side, so the Wolves catch up easily, dump it all the way back down. We're getting another icing call.
We've seen that so many times this weekend. Menino's getting behind the opposing team's defense on those long stretch passes. And he does a great job of just being able to corral those, as those are not easy to catch. So I expect Sudbury to, so you saw Sudbury collapse there a little bit, so I'm sure that they, seen that in their scouting report this weekend.
Yeah, and I feel like Meninos doesn't miss a pass on those stretch passes. But that one, he just kind of had to keep himself on side, so he had to kind of slow up, which gave the Wolves a chance at least to catch up. Now Bryce Adone tries to go cross ice, hits a skate, goes towards the net. Picked up by Jasper Jarrett in behind the net. Stolen by Baudry. He'll rim it around. Ubaldi reads that. He pitches in. Ubaldi's going to cut to the slot. Jarrett trying to find him just out of his reach. Falcioni picks it up. Flips it to center ice. Eby gloves it down. Puts it to his stick.
Ooh. Oh. Almost a big hip check there by Falcioni.
Now the play gets thrown around and Eby steals in the offensive zone. He finds Fisher Ruck. Fisher Ruck's going to fire it back to the far side. It's going to be Jeremy Jarrett from the point. He'll step up. Grabs it. Jeremy Jarrett goes around the net. The Grounds love to get active with their D. Now Fisher Ruck steps off the wall. Puts it just wide of the net. He had Julian going the other way, so he tried to go on the one side. Fisher Ruck turns, fires just wide again. Now Parrott fires it in behind the net. McMonaco is going to chase after it, but I think the net's off. So we're going to stop at your play.
Yeah, Greyhounds just continuing the pressure here all over Sudbury in their own zone. Sudbury's down to, I believe it's 8 forwards, and they still got 6D, which is nice, but obviously being down a man, it's tough at this level. So
yeah, I know, like
fatigue's going to kick in.
Well, Schwartz, a big body,
yeah.
He opens up a lot of room for other guys too, right? Because he's hard to maintain with his size and his shot and his physicality. So like that's a big loss for the Wolves. Beckerson goes to Meninos for the one-timer. He just fans on it. Picked up by Lapalainen. He'll get it down deep. Jarrett leaves it for Meninos. Meninos tries to get it out back to Jarrett, but Torini ties him up. So now Courtney, he'll pick up the loose puck. Jarrett picks his pocket. Jarrett finds Lapalainen. He gloves it down. Bertoli will get it. Lyndon Bertoli fires it to Courtney. Courtney will chip it in deep. They got two guys chasing Campbell. Campbell chips it around his man. Ben Campbell doing a great job. And now a third Wolves guy's coming in. Now they're going to have a 3-on-2. Campbell's going to hop up, make it a 4-on-3. Meninos walking right in, goes low. Nice save by Boulan again.
Save.
Now Lapalainen tries to put it over top of his shoulder, and another save by Boulan.
That shot by Meninos was a beauty.
He had all the time and space to walk in too. Courtney tries to go between the legs. Campbell doesn't fall for it. Off Menino's skate, it won't be an icing. 22 seconds left. Barr will pick it up. He goes D to D. Gray fires it off the boards. It's going to be picked up by Buffalo. Buffalo breaks into the zone. Now back the other way, down to 10 seconds. Ubaldi gets it over to Bryson Doan. 5 seconds left. Ubaldi don't meet up with 55. Carson Barr down low.
Oh, Kroom gave a big spear there to Grayson Doan.
Yeah, if you're the Hounds, you just got to skate away from all this kind of stuff. So the shots on net, the Hounds 14, Wolves 4. We'll be back in a couple minutes after this little break for period number 2. Thanks for tuning in. So starting period 2, Beaudry's going to break in. He drives wide, tries to get the puck out front. Ubaldi sticks with him. Going to be turned over to the Hounds. Hounds looking to break out. They hit Eby, just comes off his stick. Going to be stolen by Sakarellis. Eby steals back. Hayden Eby with the backhand, just puts it wide of the net. Now it's back to the point, into the feet of McCabe. McCabe's going to have to go back. Falcioni's chasing. Falcioni hits McCabe with the shot, so it stays outside the blue line. Now battle in front of the penalty box. Eby, he'll get it over to Ubaldi. Ubaldi trying to find Fisher Rock. Fisher Rock, he bumps Sakarellis. Sakarellis gets it around him and Ubaldi. He'll chip it in deep. McCabe picks it up. Barrett, McCabe.
Oh, Falcioni and Eby have been going at it like crazy. Oh, and there's another punch there. So
yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get. If we're gonna get both, or I'd assume both, but.
Oh, then Ruck came in with that extra shot, so I don't know if he's going to get an extra 2 or not.
Oh, they're just going to call Falcioni for the slash.
Wow. They were both going at each other the whole time there, so I can understand why the Sudbury be a little frustrated, but in a game like this, I think you just got to be careful, especially if you're the refs.
But even before the end of that period, Chrome could have got one for throwing some punches at guys, and like on Hayden Doan, who wasn't doing anything. Puck comes back. Beckerson, he'll fire it back down deep. Lapalainen trying to chip down low. He'll get it over to Beckerson. Beckerson comes over to Jarrett. He'll shoot a heavy shot, but go wide of the net. Hounds are going to have to regroup. Beckerson, he'll go back to Campbell. Campbell, good forecheck by Courtney, not letting the Hounds break out. Now it's picked up by Wyatt Jarrett. He'll snap it in. Goes around the boards. Campbell will be the first one on. He'll chip it back down to Meninos. Meninos. Campbell's got to pick up his stick. Jarrett has it. Wyatt Jarrett. He'll find Beckerson. Beckerson. Now it goes over to Jarrett. Jarrett to Lapalainen. They try to find Beckerson back door. Just misses. One penalty killer for the Wolves. Doesn't have a stick, unfortunately. So it's almost like a 5-on-3. Lapalainen. He'll get it back to Beckerson. Beckerson gets it over the top of the stick to Campbell. Campbell to Jarrett. Back to Campbell. Now Beckerson. Should probably keep it on the outside. With the rebound saved by Bouillon. Lapalainen will corral the puck, get it back to Campbell, off Campbell's stick, he'll keep it in. Gets it far side to Jarrett. Jarrett over to Beckerson, good play by the Wolves in the lane to break that up. Buffalo finally gets his stick back as they get it back to the neutral zone. Now it's coming up, back up ice. Wyatt Jarrett walks in, stolen by Courtney. He'll dump it down. Puck comes all the way back to the Hound zone. Picked up by Campbell. Campbell will snap it up ice. He'll hit Fisher Ruck. Fisher Ruck finds Lapalainen. Matty Lapalainen with a nice move. Puck kind of hops off his stick to Meninos. Meninos try to get it down low, but a good stick by Beaudre. He'll throw it all the way back down, back to 5-on-5. Falcioni out of the box, he goes right out. Now it's Jeremy Jarrett, he'll chip it off the boards. Finds McMonagle, back to Jeremy Jarrett. Just comes off his stick, Falcioni steals. Now they try to spring Chrome. And Bryce Parrott with a great stick, breaks that play up. Falcioni, he'll pop Bruck down low. Puck comes around. And Jeremy Jarrett throws it to the far corner. Parrott, he'll chip it up. Nevers' stick is tied up with number 12, Bertoli. Fisher Ruck will steal. Bertoli, him and his man are tangled up.
Yeah, so now.
Him and Nevers are tangled up. They both should be going for that.
Yeah, everybody
guys are
just
going
stay
towards
away.
the pile,
That's right.
which is.
Hit for the bench, grabbed his helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coach, I think, said something to him not to.
Yeah, and credit, Sudbury, they saw their guy down. The whole team went in and was going to go after him, but they wisely stopped and realized it was just the one-on-one. So
I think we're going to have offsetting, Bertoli and Nevers, both with roughing, or holding each other, I guess. Well,
No,
Nevers got the extra, I think.
I think they're giving the extra 2 to the Greyhounds, yeah. I mean,
it might have been a throwdown that might have caused that one, but. So yeah, no, good opportunity for the Wolves to try to get back in this down 4-0. They're going to go to a power play, and with the skill they have, they can easily get a goal here. So.
Yeah, no question. I mean, this is, 4-goal deficit is not unheard of, especially in minor hockey, right? So looks like McMonagle is going to serve the first 2 as there is 2 minutes up on the clock.
I think that's a good call on that one. I think Nevers was a little bit more aggressive, but I don't think they saw the guy on the bench grab Nevers' helmet. But that's hard to see, right? With like a scrum there, and they got to worry about other guys trying to jump in from the ice into the scrum. So the Wolves control the play. Courtney looking for Sakarellis. He'll find him in the middle of the ice. Sakarellis back to Courtney. Courtney cuts through, stolen by Bryce Adone. He'll throw it all the way down. Fisher Ruck's going to come off on a change. Bryce Adone stays out. Now with Wyatt Jarrett. Back up the ice. Sakarellis. He'll flip it in deep. He'll go on the forecheck. Big defenseman. He forces a pressure. Beaudre now has it. Stolen by Bryce Adone, and he'll get it to the blue line, but Torini.
There's going to be a penalty behind the net, a head contact. And I think that's going to go against Sudbury, and now at 10. So Torini is going to get 10 minutes, and better be careful before it's more.
Yeah, that's a big loss on the back end for 10 minutes, almost for the rest of the second period.
Oh, geez, and now the Sudbury Wolves player
just fired the
puck, and the coach is like, what are you going to do?
Well, man, at least the face-off's down here, so
That's
it's not
true.
as bad, I guess. But.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, they gave 2 for the head contact on Beaudre, and then 10 to Terrini for saying something.
Sorry.
Out of town score was Soo Greyhounds. Who's that, McNosa?
Yeah.
McNosa just scored for the Hounds.
Beauty goal.
It'd be huge to take 2 on the road in London, especially against London. So we'll have 4-on-4 for a minute 17.
Yeah, the forward group is running low here for Sudbury, unfortunately. They're down to 2 forwards on their, 5 forward. Yeah, they're down to 4D in total right now.
Face-off, puck goes towards the net. Bouillon with a good stick, just chips it out of the way. Now Courtney, he's got his man beat. Courtney driving wide. He'll put the brakes as Beckerson was catching up. He's going to drop it back to the point. Courtney has it again. He'll fire it. Glove down by Clayton.
You know, it's been tough for Clayton. Hasn't had a ton of action, and we've talked about it all tournament, right, or all playdowns. It's difficult when you're a goaltender and you don't get a lot of action, right? I'm sure if you ask a goalie, they'd rather have 25 shots than have 10. So
you know, 100% gets them in the game, especially you get a couple shots early, even if they're just from the outside, just to get warmed up.
Exactly.
Courtney, they win the draw, they win it over to him. Lapalainen, and he'll chip around Sacaralis, but he does a great job playing the man, so he lets Barr get the puck. Courtney now, he's out there with Bubalo. Gets chipped on the half wall, stolen by Courtney. Courtney's got a man on the far side. Barr goes into his feet, but he'll chip it into the feet of Campbell. Campbell chips it back to the neutral zone. He takes a hit from Bubalo. Lapalainen, he hits Bubalo down. Now it's going to be Beckerson. He drops it over to Wyatt Jarrett. Wyatt Jarrett, shot goes off a Barr and out of play.
Good job by Barr. Sudbury's done a great job of getting their body in front of a lot of different shots this entire weekend. So Sudbury Sudbury had a big game this morning against Thunder Bay, and pretty dominating win over a really good Thunder Bay team. And Thunder Bay's, they didn't play their best hockey this weekend. I think they would tell you the same thing, but it's a great way to warm up for the OHFs coming up since they're hosting it. And they're a good team. I like their chances.
Face off won by the Wolves. They'll chip it out into the Greyhounds zone. Now it's going to go back to Sudbury. Chipped in by Jeremy Jarrett. He's got number 8, Miles Talbot on him. Jarrett doing a great job controlling the puck. Jarrett comes back the other way. The Hounds go on a power play for 40 seconds, sorry. It's Jasper Jarrett. He gets it down low to Bryson Dome. Back to Jasper Jarrett. He goes back to the point to Barrett McCabe over to Fisher Ruck. Fisher Ruck going back door for Jeremy Jarrett, just off his stick. Now Fisher Ruck, stolen by Sudbury. Hounds keep it in. Bryson Doan, he's going to throw it or rim it around. He'll come in behind the net. Jasper Jarrett, him and Gray meet up behind the net. Gray pins him on the boards. Puck comes back to Doan. Doan leaves it for Fisher Ruck. Back to McCabe. Shot towards the net, gets tipped. Deflected the other way. Now the Hounds, it goes on to Clayton. He just leaves it for his defenseman. Sorry, I was kind of watching that.
Yeah, me too.
Little tie-up down in the middle ice. Now Chrome, he'll sneak in. Puck comes off his stick. He'll chip it to the front. And Jarrett gets it, but he'll put it up into the stanchion. So we'll have a face-off back in the ground zone with 8:22 left.
Yeah, again, Hounds with pressure all over the place, but Sudbury did a good job of getting their body in front of pucks and kind of keeping the Hounds to the outside, not giving them much on that power play. So great job by Sudbury, and if you're looking to build some momentum, that can definitely be a momentum builder, a big kill like that.
Face off to the right of Clayton. So Wolves win that back. It's going to be Beaudre. He'll drop it for Barr. Barr on net. Right into the breadbasket of Clayton. He'll cover it up.
I didn't realize they sold beers here.
Yeah, down at the canteen, so they have to have at least one server or like one worker with a smart serve.
Okay.
So like for the college games, we got the bar thing over here, but downstairs, at the canteen area.
Sorry, I was just, kind of caught me off guard.
You can buy them too at for minor hockey games at the GFL as well.
Oh, wow.
They have them in the canteen.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, that caught me off guard. I just saw a couple of dads walk by carrying a tall boy of Coors Light. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if you just know what they serve, just bring her.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Puck goes into the bench. So we'll have a face-off again back in the Wolves zone. I'll tell you one thing, at the NCC Arena, it's good that they're here because there's a lot more room for the fans and a lot warmer than the John Rhodes Arena.
Yes, it is. We went from being freezing to, I think I could have wore shorts here today. It's nice and warm up here.
From midwinter to spring break
That's right.
in one move. Wyatt Jarrett's going to get kicked out the dot, so it looks like either Meninos or Lapalainen will go in. It's going to be Meninos. He's going to go in the draw against Courtney. Courtney wins another draw. He wins a ton of faceoffs.
Yeah, he's great in that faceoff circle. Courtney's been on fire all weekend. You've noticed it as well. You've mentioned it numerous times, and he's just so quick in there, right?
Like he's not like a bigger kid, but he's quick on the draws, and another kid that provides offense for this team. This time it's won by the Hounds. Meninos tries to go back to the D, but it's stolen by Wayno. Puts it into Bubble's feet, so the Hounds will turn back. Lapalainen couldn't chip it around Sakaralis, so Barb will have to go pick it up in behind his own net. Wayno tips it to the neutral zone. Lapalainen, he'll throw it back in deep, right at Barb. Barb so easily gloves it down into the neutral zone. Lapalainen, and Beckerson, he meets up with Bubblo. Courtney tries to get around Campbell. Campbell does a great job with his stick. Lapalainen trying to get around. Sidesteps a hit from Sakaralis. Lapalainen's got Beckerson in the slot. Goes off his skate. Jared picks it up. Now it's going to be Campbell. Comes down the wall. Gets it over to Meninos. Into the slot. Lapalainen looking for the hat trick. And what a save by Braden Bouillon. Point blank.
Yeah, I mean, you got to credit Bouillon and the Wolves here. I mean, it would have been easy to kind of give up, and the Greyhounds have been all over them here. But again, they've held them off the score sheet this entire period. And when you're down by 4, you want to take it almost period by period, right? I think they'd like to cut this to 2 goals going into the third would be ideal, but even getting 1 would be massive.
Face off 1 again by the Wolves. It's going to get chipped. It doesn't come out. Ubaldi will keep it in. He'll fire it back behind the net. Nevers now will pick up the loose puck. Nevers cuts off the wall, spins back. Nevers gets pinned by Baudry. Look for some support. McMonaco will come in, trying to get it over to Fisher Ruck. Wolves steal. Falcioni, he's got his D beat. So the Cave does a great job catching up. Shot on net by Falcioni. Saved by Clayton. Now back the other way into the Sudbury zone. Nevers bumps his man. Nevers gets hit almost from behind. Oh, they're going to call that, yeah. That was kind of in the numbers. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're good. Oh, wow.
Ready?
Yeah.
trying to throw something. Now it comes back into the offensive zone. Buffalo gets it towards the net. Shot towards it, doesn't miss by much, but that was DeForge on the backhand. Wolves trying to push some pressure on here in the last minute. Shot, nice save by Clayton, kicked out. DeForge. I think he had a couple goals against the Thunder Bay Kings in the semi. Puck behind the net. The Wolves still controlling the play in the offensive zone. It's Courtney. Gets tied up by McMonagle. Now it comes onto the wall. McMonagle's going to pick it up. He's got Eby with him, just out of his reach. Not enough for an icing. Eby will get to it. Eby finds McMonagle. McMonagle just backhands it to the slot. Nobody was there. Now Sacaralis will come back the other way for the Wolves. Sacaralis driving wide. He's got 18 seconds. Puck's at his feet. Ubaldi tries to pick that up. Stolen by Buffalo. Now goes down to the wall. Sacaralis will throw it in deep with 8 seconds left. Chrome ties up Campbell. Shot towards the net, hits a body. 1 second left. That'll do it for the second period. 4-0 Hounds lead. We'll be back in 12 to 15 minutes for period number 3 of the finals of the U15 playdown. Welcome back to third period action. 20 minutes on the clock for this period. Hounds lead 4-0. It's going to be dumped in by Beckerson. Bertoli gets it. He'll get it over to Chrome. Chrome gets it back into the middle of the ice. Jarrett chips it. Goes over to Lapalainen. Lapalainen trying to drive around the net. Gets tied up by Trini. He gets hauled down. Now wide. Jarrett goes behind the net. Takes a hit. Lapalainen comes out with the puck. Trying to find Meninos. Good stick again by Courtney. Right in the slot. Hound steal. Meninos over to Lapalainen. He couldn't get the shot off. Another great play by Kroom to chip that back to the neutral zone. Now Campbell will fire it in deep. Bouillon will leave it for Turini. Turini chips it over to Bertoli. Bertoli off the glass. He finds Buffalo. He takes a hit, but he still controls the puck. Now the Hounds will fire it back in deep. Turini chips it back into the neutral zone. It's going to be picked up by Ubaldi. Ubaldi goes up. He finds Nevers. Nevers. Puck gets a little stuck in the water here.
We saw that a lot earlier.
Yeah, now Fisher-Ruck trying to chip it over. You got to put a little extra mustard on it, I guess this is what they say, to get the pass over. Now McCabe in his feet. Puck comes through the slot. Picked up by Eby. Eby will skate it around his net. You got to be careful right now because try to get that water to dry. Eby, he'll rim it over to the far side. Fisher-Ruck tries to chip it out. Doesn't get all of it. He'll just pick it up off the wall. Fisher-Ruck goes back. He takes a hit from DeVarge. Clayton has to kick that aside to McCabe. McCabe, now it's delayed offside, so the Hounds have some time. Ubaldi trying to find Nevers. He couldn't chip it in. It's chipped back by Gray. Now Gray's gonna have to chase it in his own zone. He gets chased down by defenseman Jeremy Jarrett. We're gonna have an icing call on the Wolves. Face-off will come back down.
Yeah, good pace here to the second period. Back and forth action from both teams. In the third, that's right. It's been a long weekend, I apologize. And yeah, obviously if you're Sudbury, you're just coming out and want to, try and get something going here early on if you can. And a good couple shifts there to start this period.
Face off to the right of Bouillon. One over to the wall. McMonaco's going to come out with it. Bryson Dolan comes to try to support him. Puck still loose. Turini battling with McMonaco. Puck comes up the wall. Parrott off the point. Steps up. Now it's going to be the Wolves back the other way. 2-on-2. Courtney. He'll hit Barr. Barr gets to it. Shot on net.
What
And
a
Clayton
stop.
stealing off the post is going to cover that up.
What a shot by Barr. Great effort by Carson Barr, the 5'11 forward, showing off the wheels there and let go a blister of a shot. And again, like we said, Clayton hasn't been tested often, but good thing he got his arm down there. That was
I think they moved him up because he's a defenseman, but I think with the ejection to the one forward and already be down Schwartz, I think they moved one of the D up. They'll go with 5D just to have an extra forward because they only have 8.
Yeah.
They'd be down to 7 and 6, which is be tough to play with for forwards. Meninos driving wide. He finds Beckerson creeping in. Beckerson off the post. It's straight up and out of play.
Man, Beckerson has just been showing off the offensive talent over the last couple games, like we mentioned, after being pretty quiet on the offensive score sheet throughout the round robin. So, yeah, just showing off. He's a high-skill player, and there's not much he can't do out here, that's for sure.
Face off in the Wolves zone. They'll shoot it back to the point. Campbell will keep it in. Just out of the reach of Meninos. Now picked up by Bertoli. You run it to the far side. Beckerson keeps it in. He gets pinned on the wall by Buffalo. Now Lapalainen trying to go out front. Bertoli ties him in behind the net. Meninos will pick up the loose puck. Nino's trying to go cross ice to Jarrett. It goes off a skate. Lapalainen cuts the other way. Lapalainen will throw it in deep. They got Campbell cutting to the net. Nino's trying to find Campbell just out of his reach. Lapalainen, nice save by Bouillon, kicks it out. Now Lapalainen picks up the rebound. He goes over to Campbell. Campbell down low to Wyatt Jarrett. Jarrett back to Campbell. Campbell fires it up the wall, but Bertoli steals. He gets it over to Courtney. Bertoli's going to jump in. Courtney on the far side, fires it. Saved by Clayton. Now it's the Hounds. They'll chip it up the boards. Picked up by Fisher Ruck. Ruck comes into the Sudbury zone, cuts through the middle.
What
tries
a move.
to sneak around. Puck just comes off his stick. Now Dante Caruso on the forecheck steals the puck. Caruso couldn't find McCabe. The Hounds, we get a change in on the back end. Ubaldi picks up the loose puck.
Yeah, good patience by Ubaldi, or that might have been a too many men on the ice penalty.
Just waiting for the D to come off. Now it's going to be Fisher Ruck. He'll get it down to Caruso. Caruso just out of the reach of Fisher Ruck. Barr moved up to forward, trying to find Dumont, but it won't be enough for an icing. Dumont will win that battle against Ubaldi, but then Caruso will scoop up the loose puck. Nevers driving wide, trying to find Hayden. Noni gets a little piece of it, steered aside by Bouillon. Now back to the point. It's going to be fired down deep by Ubaldi. Picked up by Gray. He'll go off the boards. Just past McCabe into the neutral zone. Bueno sidesteps a hit from Caruso. Now it's going to be Bryce Parrott. Parrott.
Oh, just missed.
Just missed his man, so we're going to have an icing call with 15:07 left.
Yeah, good pace, good period here so far, back and forth like we talked about. And credit to Sudbury. They've played hard all weekend. This is a lot of hockey games in 2.5 days. So, credit to these kids because they've been out here. It's been hard hitting hockey. Sudbury's played in some of the hardest hitting games. Man, their game against North Bay was incredibly hard hitting and clean, and it's a good hockey game. So, it takes a toll on your body playing that way after a while. And that's the thing. The Greyhounds, I think that's one of their strengths, is they actually invite contact as well, right, and kind of look for it. So, just kind of what we expected in terms of physicality, and just a good game here so far.
Especially this is game 6 for both teams on the weekend, right?
Yep.
So a lot of hockey being played. And like you said, wear and tear, like just physical bodies, bruises. But playoff hockey, you got to put it on the line, play your hardest, and go at it. Now Defarge, he'll chip it in deep past Jeremy Jarrett. He's chasing Parrott. Defarge down low. It's going to be stolen by Buffalo out front. Defarge with a shot. Clayton kicks it out with a wide open net. I don't know how he got the pad over. Defarge just a little backhand, try to tuck it in the open net. So Sudbury with a great opportunity to try to get onto the scoreboard. Now the puck comes on the wall. Chrome, he gets bumped. Hayden Dolan just drop his stick. It was getting held. Now Evie battling with Torini. Torini will steal that. Torini trying to go far side in the neutral zone. Campbell steals. Campbell will break in. Campbell gets over to Meninos. Shot towards backdoor. Wide open net. And Wyatt Jarrett. I believe that was Wyatt Jarrett's going to put it home.
Yeah, a beautiful goal there. And again, got to kind of feel a little bit for Bouillon, right? He had absolutely no chance.
Driven by Campbell again on the back end. He's had a great offensive weekend. And he got the goal scoring started tonight. But a great pass to get over to Meninos. And Meninos, I feel like with the vision and his passing ability, finds a wide open Jarrett. And poor Bouillon, he's thinking Meninos is going to probably shoot.
And
it's tough, right?
You're right, and you can see why Campbell is so highly rated or, highly thought of around these parts for sure. So, kid has a bright future if he decides to stick with hockey, which obviously I think he's going to. But, oh, man, and I tell you, every time I see one of those sticks break, it just makes I feel bad for the parents. I really do.
I'm not too sure. It might be Beckerson's second stick.
Oh, man.
I know it was a ground that broke theirs earlier as well, but
it's funny.
I don't know if it was Beckerson as well, which is
when a player breaks a stick, you can look down and you can see all the parents looking up at the parent of the kid who broke the stick. So it's they feel the pain. Yeah.
So face off to the right of Benny Clayton. Face off one back. Shocker by Courtney again. Bertoli with a shot. Nice save by Clayton. He kicks it out down to the corner. It's going to go off Lapland and skate. Now Wyatt Jarrett will pick it up. He feeds it to the open ice. Looking for Meninos. Meninos gets there before Talbot. He finds Lapalainen. Now from the point, McCabe walks in. Barrett McCabe, nice, another big save by Braden Bouillon. Now puck comes to the corner. Squirts free to Lapalainen. Lapalainen, he'll throw it back in deep. Menino sees it, he tries to fire it back off, or back out front, goes off Bertoli's skate to the corner. Baldy ties up his man. Now wide open Jared in front of the net again. Bouillon with another save, and Jared, I don't know if he got hit up high, but he's down. Sudbury back the other way on a 2-on-1. Just out of the reach of Chrome. Now the whistle will go as Jared's slow out to get up on his knee.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened back there, but
I don't know if he just got tangled up or.
either way, 12:37 to play here.
.37 left in the third period. 5-0 Hounds lead. Face off to the right of Clayton. Hounds win that one back. Picked up by McCabe. McCabe got a couple Wolves on him. Try to find McMonaco. He'll chip it over. Nevers will pick that puck up. Nevers, he gets tripped up. They're going to call a tripping call, or hooking, sorry. So now we'll have a face-off. The Hounds will go on a power play.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot for the refs to make a call, or it has to be something obvious, and that was one of them. And now she just gave an extra 10 as well, so that's going to do it for his season, unfortunately, unless there's a whistle in the last 23 seconds.
But that also hurts your team because now you got to put another guy in the box.
That's
so
right,
now,
and you're already
short guys,
yeah.
so now you got to throw a guy in for 2 minutes, and you got to serve 12.
I think the coaching staff of Sudbury is also just thinking, let's get out of this game, and you don't want to do anything dumb either, right? The suspensions carry over to next year, and the Greyhounds want to be smart because they still have OHFs coming up, and you certainly don't want to miss any games in that. So, what a stop again!
Nice shot by Hayden Doan, but what a save by Bouillon. Point blank, he's made a couple saves. They try to go cross ice, stolen, but the Hounds swarm and they'll keep it in. Nevers on the wall. Nevers trying to go down low. He'll find Jasper Jarrett. It bounces off over his stick. Sakarellis pitches him off. Hayden Doan comes out to help. Hayden Doan will come out with the puck. He takes a bump from Sakarellis. Now Fisher Ruck and Jasper Jarrett. Jasper Jarrett can't get a shot off as he gets knocked down. Wolves do a great job again on the penalty kill. They'll fire it all the way back down. Clayton will leave it behind the net. Picked up by McCabe. McCabe, he'll drop it for Wyatt Jarrett. Wyatt Jarrett gets around Bubbalo. Cuts into the Wolves territory. Spins away from Courtney. Now Jarrett, he'll flip it over. Finds Campbell. Campbell to Lapalainen. Lapalainen in the corner. He'll come down the wall. He'll go back to the point to Beckerson. Beckerson in the slot to Meninos. Meninos try to go back to Beckerson. He gets bumped by Bertoli. 35 seconds left on the power play. Campbell with some room. Campbell will snap the shot. Goes off a body off the glass. Jared comes in to help. He'll come out with the puck. Soft pass. Campbell keeps it alive. Over to Beckerson. Lapalainen, I think he's got to leave the ice. His cage is off. He's going to get a penalty for going towards the play with illegal equipment. So that's a.
And you know what? We've seen that called this weekend before. This is the second time now we've seen an illegal equipment penalty. So the refs are just being consistent with that. That's a good call.
Yeah, you got to. It's like in the league. If your helmet came off, you got to go right off. So
that's right.
Same thing. Cage came up, so you got to come off or make the effort that you're going off. But he went into the play, so that's a good call.
Yeah.
And we'll have 4-on-4 for 17 seconds. 10:40 left here in the third period. Into the feet, it's going to come back and outside the zone. Bertoli will track it down. Hebe steals that from him. Hebe brings it back to the center ice. He gets his pocket picked by Waino. Waino gets it over to Buffalo. Buffalo in the offensive zone. Off of Clayton into the corner. Now it's going to come back around. McMonaco is going to steal, but he throws it, and Courtney takes that. Courtney drops it for Torini. Torini skates into McMonaco on the wall. McMonaco gets knocked down by Torini. Puck goes into the corner. The Wolves be on the power play for 1:20. Hounds will get that down all the way to the Wolves' end. Talbot gets it up. He finds Courtney. Courtney trying to spin away from Fisher Ruck. Fisher Ruck's going to get called for a hook. So we'll have a 5-on-3 for 1:06. Courtney doing a great job moving his feet. Courtney.
4-on-4 hockey has been entertaining here, so it's lots of skill on both sides. So and we're gonna have 1:06 of it here.
5-on-3.
Oh, it's the 5-on-3. That's right. Sorry. So again, the Wolves now. Big opportunity here.
Looks like a Wolves player just left. Went to the room.
Oh, really? I didn't see who. Another player?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I think maybe the guy who got the 2 in the 10.
No, he's still in there.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like number 20, Falcioni. I'm not
too
sure.
Oh, that was Falcioni?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not too sure what happened, but he didn't get a penalty. So shot towards that. Heavy, just missing just wide. Picked up by Courtney now. 5-on-3 for the Wolves. Courtney's going to find the middle. He goes beside the net. Now back to Talbot. Talbot shoots. Good block by Campbell. Beckerson, Campbell, Jarrett killing. Now it's going to be Courtney driving wide. He'll go around wide. Jarrett. Courtney comes in behind the net. He's scanning. He finds Talbot. Talbot gets over to Torini. Torini doesn't take the shot. He'll go back to Talbot. Talbot finds some ice. Back to Torini. Torini walks in. Glove down by Ben Clayton. So we're down to 15 seconds on the 1 penalty and 1:09 on the second.
Yeah, great job again by the Greyhounds. And, with their penalty kill, like we've talked about, I even find them a threat 5-on-3, right? They can be aggressive, and if they get any space at all, you got to watch out.
Into the feet. Courtney's going to pick it up off the draw. Over to Torini. Torini back to Courtney. Courtney one-timer and saved by Clayton again. Trying to go 5-0. Shuts the door.
Greyhounds desperately need a face-off win here.
I try to get it out and kill the rest of that 1 penalty anyhow. Stream brought to you by KC Security Services on Saultsports TV. We'd also like to thank Repair Sault Ste. Marie and Thompson Hardwood Flooring Refinishing. Rimmed around. Torini just hops over his stick. He'll have to regroup. 1 penalty ends. 50 seconds still in the other. Now it's going to be Talbot. He'll bring it in. He'll rim it around to the far side. Courtney just hops over his stick. Torini, they're going to say he came out. Offside.
Hit the bench.
Oh, hit the bench. My mistake there.
Yeah.
We also like to thank the corporate sponsorships from Rome's, your independent grocer, the Canal District, GFL Environmental, Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, Leanne Jarrett Photography, Booster Juice, Sault Ste. Marie, Wendy's, Sault Ste. Marie, Saultsports Clips, and freeze frame photos by Bob Davies. So thank you again to all the sponsors for all the games.
Yeah, we really appreciate the support from all of the sponsors. I mean, it's Jay Houselander and his team do a heck of a lot of work to bring these games to you, and we definitely appreciate all the support and the people watching and who have watched all weekend in Sudbury. And we definitely thank the sponsors, and if you're ever interested in sponsoring, just reach out to Jay, and he has a variety of packages for you as well.
Wolves now still in the offensive zone. 10 seconds left. Torini, hard shot. Bryson Doan blocking that, but he gets his pocket picked by Buffalo. Buffalo down low. Good block by McCabe. McCabe, we got bodies everywhere, so I think the Grounds are going to take another penalty. Look like Bryson Doan might be getting called. We still haven't touched it. Just past Torini. We're 5-on-5 as of right now. Sudbury still controlling the puck. Torini gets it to Defarge, goes around to the far side to Waino. Waino trying to find someone the Hounds will finally touch.
Gonna call head contact. So is that a 4 then?
Depends if it's intentional or not. Depends. It could be a 2, could be a 4. Looks like 2.
They're gonna call the 2 variety. So
the Wolves. Time's ticking away. 7:24 left. Down 5-0. This power play could provide huge for them to try to get back in this game. Courtney wins up back. Goes over to Torini. Torini far side to Courtney. Courtney leans in on it. Hits the corner. Rims all the way down. Sakarellis is going to have to come back to his own end. Pick it up. Fisher-Ruck on the attack. Fisher-Ruck chases around the net. Sakarellis with some speed. He'll come through the neutral zone. Sakarellis cuts through, throws it to the corner. Shot towards the net. Wide again. Now Courtney will pick up the rebound. Gets it to Torini. Torini over to Sakarellis. Gets around McMonagle. Backhands it to the far wall. Picked up by Courtney. Courtney cuts around. She's going to drop it for Sakarellis. Sakarellis over to Torini. Torini goes back. Nice little saucer pass to Sakarellis. He gets it down to Courtney. Courtney. Good stick by Caden McMonagle. He'll steal. He'll fire it all the way down right on net. Willian kicks that aside. Now a minute left on the penalty kill. Defarge, he'll bring it in. Courtney doing a good job staying on side. Barr gets the puck. He fires it down to the point, picked up by Torini. Torini gets around his man. Torini goes to the corner. He's got Courtney covering on the point. Nevers couldn't quite get to it. He bumps Courtney, but Courtney gets it back to Torini. Now Nevers gets a stick on it. Courtney's going to keep it. Nevers doing a great job. He'll get it past Courtney. Now Nevers, he'll just chip it in deep. Good job by Gavin Nevers on the penalty kill. Relentless. He finally gets it out. Ubaldi steps up. He'll throw it back in deep. 15 seconds. Puck comes past Ubaldi into the neutral zone. Picked up by Campbell. He hits Waino. Now Wyatt Jarrett off the bench. He'll pick up the loose puck. Goes up the wall. Sudbury's going to keep it in. 3 seconds left. Tripped up. Puck comes around. Chrome. Chrome fires it. I don't know if Clayton got a piece or if it just hit the side of the net. Back to 5-on-5. We're down to 5:15 left. Looks like Ubaldi. He'll rim it around. Looks like it might be an ice. Oh, it's going to die out. Not make it for the icing. Now it gets rimmed around. Back to the neutral zone. Bryce Parrott. He'll throw it in deep. On the forecheck, Meninos comes. He hits Pablo, and it looked like it was more shoulder to shoulder, but I don't know if they're going to call boarding or.
I hope so. I mean, you don't want to see anything too serious here with the playdowns coming up, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be boarding. So another Wolves power play coming up with 4:48 left.
Yeah, this is, you know, that was a big hit there. Glad it's only the 2 variety. Menino's not known as that type of player at all. And, you know, he's just a big, strong kid there. And
so face off to the left of Clayton this time. One back by Wyatt Jarrett. Wolves though creep down. A couple guys for support. It's going to come down the wall. Courtney's going to get to it. He's got Wyatt Jarrett on him. Jarrett trying to get a stick on it. Courtney gets it down on the wall. Now stolen by Wyatt Jarrett. Sakarellis takes it back. It's going to be Jeremy Jarrett. He'll get it down to the neutral zone. Little update on score. The Thunderbirds lead the Timmins Rock 1-0 early in the first period. Now it's down low. It's going to be Jeremy Jarrett again. He takes a big bump from Chrome. It's going to be Lapalainen. He'll get it. He'll throw it down towards Julian. He'll leave it off to the side. Almost a minute gone. Lapalainen trying to tie up Talbot. Puck comes onto the wall. Picked up by Courtney. Courtney goes far side. He finds Sakarellis. He'll throw it in deep. Clayton comes out to play the puck. He'll leave it for McCabe. McCabe, he'll fire it all the way down to the open ice. It'll go to the far corner of the Wolves' end. 52 seconds left. Now up ice, Sacrellis will spin away. Chased by Eby. It's going to be Fisher-Ruck. He's going to be offside. Now back to Ubaldi. Fans out it the first time, but Ubaldi sticks with it, gets the puck out. Tirini, he'll carry it in. He takes a bump from Eby, but gets it over to Courtney. Good stick by Ubaldi. Didn't fall for Courtney, trying to go between the legs. Eby will get it back to the neutral zone. 20 seconds left on the penalty. Bertoli now, he'll fire it in. It'll hit a body and go into the corner. Now comes the rack around. McCabe still with 10 seconds to kill on this power play. Comes on the wall, Beckerson trying to get it out. He will, and that'll do it. So back to 5-on-5. 2:45 left here in the third period. The Hounds lead 5-0. Nevers tries to bump his man. To be brought back up. Now it's picked up. Throwing into the middle of the ice. Bryson Doan, he'll pick up the loose puck. Bryson Doan try to cut through the middle. He knocks it down to himself. But the Wolves swarming the middle of the ice. Take that away. Now Bryson Doan knocks his man. Now cuts to the net. Bryson Doan trying to tuck it in.
How did that stay out?
Bouillon doing a great job. And then he grabs Bryson Doan.
How did that puck stay out of the net?
The only way Bryson Doan could have got it's right there.
Right at
It's
his feet, yeah.
It's right by the red line.
That's incredible.
Bryson Doan, though, doing a great job stealing the puck and cutting hard to the net.
It's the way he plays.
He is not afraid to get into the dirty areas at all. And with that skating and speed, just his work ethic alone is he's top notch with his work ethic. So face off 218 to the right of Bouillon. Oh, sorry, we're going to the other side to the left. Beckerson gets over to Campbell. Campbell down low. They find Caruso. He stands on it. Now Bryson Doan, his shot just goes wide of the net. Caruso. Oh my God. He moved the whole boards.
Oh.
Caruso couldn't get the one-timer there. Beckerson, he takes a big hit from Gray. Now the puck comes through the slot. It's going to go back to the Wolves' stick. Flipped in. Clayton. He's going to come out to play it. Clayton got lucky on the backhand there. Caruso thought he got a little high. Bryson Doan, that's got to be offside for sure. By
Just
about a foot or
offside.
two. So we'll come back to the far blue line with 1:32 left. 5-0 Hounds lead still.
Yeah, you know, and just as the tournament winds down or the playdowns wind down here again, we said it before, we thank everybody for tuning in. You know, Sudbury, obviously this didn't turn out how they had hoped, but they had an outstanding season, and credit to them and their coaching staff. And, you know, going down 4-0 early in the first period, you know, they've stuck with it. They've grinded it out. They've only allowed one goal here in the last two periods, and they deserve a lot of credit for just the a lot of the resiliency and the passion that they've shown. So congratulations to them in their season. And in terms of the Greyhounds, this just caps off an outstanding season for them. I think Coach Jared and his staff have done a remarkable job. They play a very aggressive, tough brand of hockey. And the kids have all bought right into it. So congratulations to them, and best of luck to the Soo Greyhounds at the OHS.
Yeah, and like we said, like Bouillon, he's faced a ton of shots, and he's had a great game. But Ben Clayton, boy, oh boy, he's had a great game too. So we get treated with two good goalies. I know it's 5-0, but some of those top-end goals were tough for Bouillon to make, or he's making the first one or two saves, and then the Hounds are just swarming the net. So great job. Shout out to Braden Bouillon for the performance he's had in net for Sudbury, and Ben Clayton in the other net has done very well. Now it's coming back to the Hound zone. Shot towards the net. Gonna hit off a stick and go out of play.
And again, thanks to Chris Carr, cameraman, for all his hard work this weekend. Thanks to Jay Houselander in studio. And Derek, I know you did a lot of talking this weekend, so great job. And your voice, yeah, your birthday weekend, you spent it at the rink. I think you would have spent it at the rink.
Yeah, I was going to say no other place I'd rather be, but
right.
like the talking I like. Usually the talking's behind the bench, and I'm getting told to be quiet by a ref. So
yeah, exactly.
nothing I could not say what I want,
Absolutely.
but I could talk a lot and not get told to be quiet at least. Ubaldi will pick it up. He's going to chip it over to Meninos. The Wolves will throw it back in with 25 seconds left. Wyatt Jarrett will pick up the loose puck. In his own zone, Wyatt Jarrett. He's going to flip it all the way to the Sudbury zone. They're going to say no icing. 15 seconds left. The Wolves are just going to sit behind their net. They'll fire it down the ice, and that'll do it as the Soo Junior Greyhounds are going to win the U15 playdowns and go to the All-Ontarios. So congrats to Cole Jarrett and his coaching staff of Kobe Fellinger, Austin Fellinger, Adrian Odell, Harley Wardell, Lanny McCabe, and Liz Ubaldi. So a great job by both teams. But a big shout out to the Holmes team, the Soo Greyhounds, for winning. And they'll be off to Thunder Bay sometime in April. I think April 9th it starts or something like that. So I know Cole Jarrett is going to have to take a quick picture, and he'll have to get down to the John Rhodes and go watch his Soo Thunderbirds that he helps coach and part owner of. So congrats to the Junior Greyhounds. Congrats to Sudbury. Thanks for everyone tuning in. So we're going to stay live while they do the medals and everything. So if you want, keep watching. And like I said, great job to the Sudbury Wolves making it a competitive game. Thanks for tuning in. Had fun doing this.